G'day fellas, and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the southeast side of the map in the colour blue, playing as the Rus. It's Wham-O-1, and in the north of the map, playing on the Chinese, in the colour yellow, it's Beastie Cutie. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Basin. We're once again on a Red Bull Wollalol map. I don't actually know why these guys are on Red Bull Wollalol maps at the moment. I don't know whether this was part of a show match or what it was, so... I've just kind of realized that now, because sometimes, like, normally when the guys are, like, scrimming together, they'll normally play on, like, ladder maps or something like that, but here we've got, like, the Road to Red Bull Wollalol map, so maybe there was a show match and I missed it. If that is the case, please let me know in the comments, and I will make sure that I subsequently, you know, pin a comment, shout them out, all that good stuff. It's always very hard, because, you know, I guess as a creator, I occasionally get messages from other creators and they're like, hey Drongo, I'm hosting a tournament. If you're interested in hosting it, feel free to, or like if you're interested in casting it, feel free to, just letting you know, like, it's happening on these dates, and please, like, make sure you use, like, the overlay, because you guys will see, like, down the bottom, over in this little corner over here, just below my mouse at the moment, there's my logo, but sometimes I'll put up the logo of somebody else or another event that I might be casting. But yeah, sometimes, you know, with the way that match histories work and they're open, and it's just kind of like, you know, at the moment I just go into someone's match history and I see a couple of games and I'm like, yeah, why not, let's give them a go. But you don't actually know where those games originated from, you know, who caused those games to happen. So there you go, a little bit of insight as to how it all goes down. So anyway, that is it. But let's talk a little bit about this matchup. This is a bit of an interesting matchup, mainly from the Chinese side. I always found this is a bit of a difficult matchup. The idea typically for China is obviously you want to get that second town center up, you want to get that Song Dynasty up, but it's about not dying to Castle Age pressure. And my concern is that even if this does go late game, playing as China, I don't actually think Chinese late game is good anymore. There was a time where China was like, hey guys, it's the S tier civilization, but that was back when it was like, yeah, I've got grenadiers, I've got 12 range bombards. Was it 12 range? Yeah, it was 12 range bombards that one-shot everything. Like, that was late game China before. Now late game China's like, yeah, like, what have you got going for you? Late game China. You've got, like, the dynasty bonus, you've got fire lances. I guess that's another thing potentially for you to use, but I mean, in the scheme of things, like, compare that to Rus. The main reason why Rus late game is strong is obviously Streltsy, but mainly for me, at least, Banded Arms. Banded Arms, the upgrade available to them in the Imperial Age, is just going to give them that extra range on their Springalds. And basically, that little bit of extra range just gives them the ability to take better trades in their siege fights, and subsequently, not much that you can do. Also, their landmark reduces the cost of siege, and it just makes it very, very hard to play against a Rus player in the Imperial Age. So I normally try and avoid doing it where possible, but we do see now it is going to be an Imperial Academy coming down for Beastie Cutie. Beautiful little spot that he's got here. On the other side of the map, though, we got ourselves a Kremlin, ladies and gentlemen. It's happening. The Kremlin is finally becoming the meta. It's something that we've seen over time, like, trending upwards. Obviously, there's been huge buffs to it. That's the main reason why it's trending upwards. And it's the new hotness. You know, whenever you got something that's new and hot, I guess the problem is when you've got something that's new and hot, you kind of compare it to what you had. And, I mean, I think I've made this analogy a couple of times before, so I'm probably not going to do it for fear of divorce. But I guess the point is that you've got an S tier landmark as the Rus, and that hasn't got any changes. So now all of a sudden it's like, do I want to take this S tier landmark, which is, you know, by far just so easy, so flexible, covers my mistakes. If I make a single mistake, I'm always going to be covered. Or do I go for the Kremlin, which is like, it's a gamble, right? Like, it's a gamble. Okay, it's nice. It will provide like the Wooden Fortress bonus here. That's good. But the main reason that we're looking for it is because of the militia. Now, this is a relatively big map. We spawn far away from each other. Where are we looking at hitting the enemy with our militia? This is pretty much it right here. But in saying that, we do see villagers moving out for a barbican. Oh, this could... Oh, Lord, this could be bad. Oh, God, this could... What if if he calls militia straight away, which he does... Oh, oh, no. Barbican of the Sun. Oh, it's already going down. Never mind. Okay. I thought he was moving out, like... I thought he was going to go, like, somewhere around here. Villagers moving out. Militia moving out. Vills, where are they moving? Yeah, he's going to this exact same spot. Look at this. They both know exactly where it's meant to be going up. But Beastie looks like he will be getting up that Barbican without too many shenanigans. 5 minutes, it's coming up. Nice little Song Dynasty timing here from Beastie. So definitely feeling good about himself after that one. 8 Vils coming out as well. So he'll be sending a supervisor out here shortly. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a rally point on that way. Surprised that he's not actually just on these deer right here. I against the Rus, I always like to get on my deer earlier because I always know that those deer are not going to be around for long. We might not see it, but obviously when you look at the potential, you know, professional scouts calls out to you, doesn't it? All right, well, not really a lot achieved from the first militia. 30 seconds to go before these bad boys are fallen into their grave. Fortunately, they don't have to dig too deep. These guys kind of just, well, it's a little bit like, what was it called? There used to be something that you dropped dead from. Yeah, what's it called? Oh gosh, I can't remember. Not the flu. Before the flu. Oh, yeah, the flu, right? Influenza? Was that it? A tissue, we all fall down. Anyway, these guys are about to fall down. They got 6 seconds left, 5 seconds left. So they left their run a little bit too late, unfortunately. But it was nice knowing you, fellas. Rest in peace. Barbican will secure up the hunt, or at least will hold down the hunt. That's why I thought he was going to come out here for this position, because as you can see, we've now got a wooden fortress going to come up here, and that wooden fortress will completely deny this food off. Beastie's now got to address this. Now, he can come out here with the Jukunu, but obviously that's not going to do anything, so he needs to get a battering ram, and that's where it's really hard to challenge, and Jukunu going to go out and got to be careful there, little guy. Watch out, my friend. Fair bit of damage there. So the main issue that he's going to have is that he's going to have to invest quite heavily here into dealing with this. Stone actually, oh, look at the spawn on the stone. What is that stone spawn? Actually, that's about a standard stone spawn. It just looks, oh, sorry about that. It just looks a little bit weird because it's between two ferns. Let's just say that much. Beastie's going to go take the north stone instead. Really nice outpost play here coming through from Wham. And I love the addition of the militia just to kind of apply a little bit more pressure as well. So we got double wooden fortresses coming up now for Wham. He's picked up these arrow slits on both sides. And what does he do behind it? Because I think that's always been the question for me. You know, I remember watching early on Crackety here going for a similar kind of strategy. And the question is always what's happening behind this. And you can clearly see there is an intent right now, I suspect, to go for a second town center. And if that's the case, I agree with it completely. I like it a lot. And I think against China, you can probably commit to second town center quite happily. You're not on the timer the same way you used to be. Back in the day against China, when China was on, you know, 3 town centers, that being Song Dynasty plus the 2 town centers, it definitely felt like you're on a timer against them. But I think on the 2.5, because I think, is it 2.5 town centers? No, it's 2.66 town centers. So it definitely doesn't feel that that imminent, that timer, at least anymore. So good little changes that are coming through. And we do see Wham now having enough stone to drop down that second town center. He's going to go plonk it down over on the deer, and you can see Beastie obviously realizes where he wants to do it. He's saying, yeah, okay, go for it. Town center does get in a nice little spot, though. Finds a beautiful little thing. Now, Beastie could have played some awesome games and just dropped a sheep right here. Left 1 sheep there and 1 sheep here. And you can just sit there, and until a scout comes up, those sheep are just going to be chilling out. So a little bit, I would almost be tempted to say a bit of a missed opportunity there by Beastie. Scout at the back of the base will spot out those villagers on stone. He does see it, but he realizes it's too late, and Wham going to be putting down a stable on the front side. Look at this aggressive style coming through. And he spots the stone, and he sees how much stone is coming off the top. He says, Beastie, 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 you are being greedy, greedy, greedy. Going for 3 town centers, you cheeky little devil. So second town center thrown right in the back of the base. Hopefully going to be tucked away where it's not going to get scouted out. Now, I don't even think Beastie realizes that this has been spotted out. He's starting to wall up now. But I guess realistically, when your stone gets denied like that, obviously you're going to be going somewhere else. Obviously your enemy's going to be looking for that. So I wouldn't be surprised if Beastie was well and truly aware that the scout was back here. But I don't think he would have been happy to know that the second town center will get discovered. And there it is. Third one coming up. So Beastie definitely going big right now. And I think this is quite interesting because on the other side of the map, we've got a Rus player who's opened with a second town center. So he's going to have to be playing a little bit more, or a little bit less aggressive. A little bit more greedy. And look at this. Knight coming in, cleaning up the Jukunu. and another outpost going to get dropped down. And you can just feel right now, Beastie's not going to have any space in this game. I can feel it. I feel it coming. Look at this and all the food that he wants out here. Now, there's a nice little spot. He could potentially move villagers out here. Look to take these berries here. This one might be off limits. 8 range? Oh, he doesn't have arrow slits on this one. And villagers coming forward. Oh, my lord, that's a lot of knights right now. Villagers going to have to fall back. He's managed to take out one of the villagers. Spearmen moving forward as well. But I suspect these guys are going to be going down very quickly. Indeed, they are. So Beastie going very, very greedy. Was that too much greed? Potentially. Now, remember, for Wham to match the same town center production as this, he's actually going to need 4 town centers. So he's got 2 options. Number 1 is to match it. Number 2 is to say, I'm not going to match it. I'm going to just play aggressively. Because if I play defensively, you're just going to outscale me. So I can't do that. So I've got to play aggressively. And that's what he does. Pedal to the metal right now. Wham sitting on 2,600 army value. I don't know where that's derived from because I don't see how these 5 knights are worth 2,600. I guess is it the scouts maybe? Surely not. The scouts aren't costing... maybe it's counting the wooden fortresses. Does it count the wooden fortress? But then wouldn't it, if it counts the wooden fortresses, wouldn't it count the Barbican? But I guess Barbican's a landmark. Jeez, I'm so far ahead of myself right now. I'm still trying to work it all out. How many wooden fortresses do we have? He's got 4 wooden fortresses. Still then it doesn't add up. I'm not good at math, but I tell you what, that doesn't add up. I'm curious what you guys at home think. Where's that extra value coming from? And how can I get some of that? Because I feel like Wham's been writing a little bit from giving himself, skimming a bit off the top, I think, right there. Archery range coming down on the front side, though. We got a villager pull in the south. So what does he aim to achieve by doing this? Obviously, you just want to clear up space. I think that's the number one thing, right? Like, you want to clear up space. You want to force your enemy back from here. And you want to be going for... You know, you want to get your walls up, basically. And we can see he's done a pretty decent push out here. There's a lot of units. 6 spears should be able to defend him against any kind of knights. So that would be nice. But now where does he go from here? Oh, I say that, but have a look at that. We got 4 knights. Boar also getting involved. But remember, is that another town center? No, it's going to be a mill. He throws down a mill here in the middle of the battlefield. Okay, interesting. On the other side of the map, though, we got a high trade house coming through. Now, this looks like a pretty good high trade house. But the thing is with the high trade house, they look good, and then it comes in and it's like, yeah, 104 gold. And you're like, bro, that's at least 150. It's like, nah, 104, sir. I counted it twice. Okay, all right. Like, unless this whole thing is filled with trees, I can't help but feel like this is... It's going to be one of those... It's going to be one of those high trade houses. So we'll keep an eye out for that. But high trade house was buffed in the most recent patch. Remember, it now spawns deer a little bit faster. So that's nice. You can throw a couple of extra villagers on there. Pick up yourself a... Gosh, look at this. Look at this. This is a food economy right here. 36 villagers and an imperial official walk into a bar. And the barman says... Where's the tax at? I don't know. I don't know. What would the barman say? I didn't prepare that joke. I'm not like Nilly. I don't prepare my jokes. But let's take a look at these villagers. Let's take a look at this. 142. Not bad. Not bad. 142 on the high trade house. Now, I wonder how much bounty he's got. That, for me, is a big question, but obviously I can't answer that question because we still can't see the bounty in this second... I think this is the second iteration now of this. So, yeah, unfortunately, we don't get to see that. Still no walls up yet either. Battering ram also coming down. Spears, nowhere to be seen on this wood line. Finally making their way out now. And the villager count, interestingly, not going up that high. You would have thought that the villager count right now for Beastie would be off the charts. At least I would have. I would have thought... What's the issue for him? Has he had a food issue? A food shortage? Is that potentially it? Could be an issue. Tell you what, I'd be so tempted to delete these buildings here. Because if you don't, the Imperial official's going to come out here one day. Now, these guys, they got 0 tax on them, so he's fine. But you know what that's like. You know what those Imperial officials are like. Villagers? Villagers? Beastie? Going for a bit of a hard decision right there. Spears coming out, though. And now we got the horse archers on the field. Now, Chu could absolutely destroy horse archers, so I would be happy even, like, to play this in feudal if I'm Beastie. Obviously, he's not planning to do that. He's got a lot of food stacked up, so quite easy for him to go castle. And he's just taken a little bit of gold over here. Don't mind me, guys. 27 villagers on gold. If 10 villagers are 400 gold a minute, then 27 villagers are closer to 1,000 gold a minute. More than 1,000 gold a minute. With the Imperial official, you're looking at about 1,300 gold a minute. With the upgrades, he's got wheelbarrow. So you're probably talking close to about 1,400 gold a minute right there going to be coming through. It's a lot of resources, and Beastie going to be able to click up now, but Battering Ram does go down. Spearman on the front line also going to be going down, and Villagers moving back. He was trying to clear out this wooden fortress, but going to be unsuccessful. Villagers having to run away. Knight's going to be coming through for a field day here. Beastie losing 11 workers so far. There's that mill that I was talking about earlier. I think this one is the right choice. It should be fine for him. Now those spears going to be looking to repel. Needs to pull in some Chukunu to deal with these horse archers. They got a little bit of a long range, 4.5 tiles, but the Chukunu can deal with it. And now those knights heading around to the other side. Oh, this is not good. This is not good for Beastie. Looks like Wham might be having a bit of a lunch, an early lunch today. Look at that. And the new age begins. Beastie up with the astronomical clock tower. Could be looking for a trebuchet. Obviously doesn't have the resources for it. Trebuchet would easily clean this up, but sprinkled emplacements come out now. And now we've got a problem. Because that sprinkled emplacement has got plenty of range. That's 9 tiles of range right there. And that's not something that we accounted for. You can see right there just how long it goes, but it always goes a little bit further as those villagers continue suffering. It's an unfortunate life. Spears out in the middle of the map. And Beastie definitely a little bit biting off too much, I think. A little bit more than he can chew. Spear's going to be caught out of position. Beastie going for another battering ram back in his base. A lot of racks is thrown down here, but just not a whole lot of units. He's up to 1,400 gold at this point. Look at the villagers on wood. 50 vills on wood. Where's the farm transition as well? I'm starting to worry for the guy. I'm really starting to worry for him because he's got no space back here. And once these knights come in through this position, he's not going to be able to use any of this space. So realistically, he's got back here. And that's not a lot of space, especially once these guys get their sprinkled emplacements. That ain't a lot of space at all. More militia. They finally made it. Welcome back, guys. Militia looking to dive in. And now we've got ourselves a nice little cavalry mass coming in here. A decent number. Now, I think Beastie can still... Oh, might be copium here. I think Beastie can still win this game. The problem is, when you're playing this position as China... Yeah, look at the farms Beastie has to go for around the town center. You never want to do that as China. So, the problem that Beastie's going to have is he hasn't gotten far enough ahead. He's lost 21 vills, which is okay, but I think he may have been stalling food. When you go for 3 town centers, it's a lot of food that you've got to put into those town centers. And you don't always have enough, especially when your enemy puts down a wooden fortress on your main food sources, both of them together. So now Beastie going to be firing off. The new nest of bees has received a buff. It now fires at units, even if they die or if they run out of range, it will still continue firing at them. Previously, it would just stop firing. Yeah, you can see right there. Look at that range. Oh, yeah, it's beautiful, but little nest of bees, I got some bad news, buddy. Run, boy. Run the spears. Oh, they make it in time. What a save right there. Beautiful little save. Knights running through. Nest of bees still getting some good shots off. Looks like another one. That might have been a battering ram, I think. But it looks like the nub will go down. Second nest of bees is out. Beastie fighting for dear life. He's up 3 vills, but he's going to need more than that if he wants to win this game. Still doing such a decent job. Look at that nest of bees. It doesn't go down. Vills now healing up the second nest of bees. Somehow he's finding a way through this. 2 nest of bees in the pocket. We'll be able to hold this off. I don't know how he does it. I've got no clue how he does it. That is insane. I am clueless right now. That is beautiful. That is beautifully played by Beastie. And now going to be looking to melt through. Not doing a whole lot of damage to this nest of bee. He's got 2 more in the backside. No, not like this. Not like this. The nest of bees just having a field day right now. Oh, Beastie's loving life. Horse Archer does go down. He kills them all. He's managed to bring it back. Beastie's loving life. He's managed to find a way back into this. So I guess we can talk a little bit more about, getting ahead. I still feel like even though he manages to hold, he's still not far ahead. At this point, Beastie should be 136 vills. And I think that's just the sad reality of it. He's down about 50 vills. Obviously, he's lost 40. But he did also lose a couple of villages that he should have been training at some point, but obviously was short on food, because a guy like Beastie's not going to forget to train villagers, I can tell you that much. But he does stick to the game. Still intent on causing havoc. So we do see Springalds now starting to come through as well. For Wham. Villagers spreading out, trying to build this wall, trying to get it up as soon as possible. Horse archers on the other side going to begin working it down. Springald's making their way across the map, and there's the farms finally coming in. Once those wooden fortresses have been cleaned up, then the farms can go down, but we see more and more units entering into the base of Beastie. And this is trouble, but he has regained control of this gold vein. So it's not all terrible from here. Speedman numbers are still strong. How are we looking on upgrades? I want to check in here. Okay, only the tier 1. It's still better than nothing, though. All right, we look back home. How is Wham doing? We haven't looked at his base in quite some time. So still running the 2 town centers. High trade house at 142 gold a minute still. And look at the deer that are out here. The new high trade house. I mean, this is something that we haven't really talked a lot about. But new high trade house is... I mean, I know that these are deer, but some people would lead you to believe these are actually rabbits. At least that's how fast they come out. But we got multiple attacks on the other side of the map. Multi-pronged attacks coming through. Oh, thank you. She said thank you to me. I don't know why she said thank you. All right, well, Sacred Sites are now starting to get captured. All 5 relics going over to Wham as well. So he's got a 12 villager lead. Also got a 5 relic lead. Shortly going to be having Sacred Site leads as well. Slowly just strangling out Beastie. Wham's a great player. A really good player. I think from this position, he should be pretty happy. And now we see the first of the trebuchets coming out. Does he have them on the front side? Or I think they're back towards the base, aren't they? Yeah. In preparation for the landmark that will be dropped down. Interestingly, not going for it, though. I feel like this position that he's in, he's had more than enough time to actually go for it. But just still going to be sticking to this cavalry combo. And to be honest, I like Wham's combo just simply because of the Springalds. The Springalds just mean that they completely nullify Beastie's composition. That's the problem. Beastie going for some Springalds himself. Obviously, it all comes down to numbers, and Nest of Bees does go down, getting caught on the wrong side of the forest, and we do see some spears moving forward now. Beginning to defend the base of Beastie. Springalds trading in, getting some decent shots off. Take out a 1-for-1. 2 more moving up, only a single Nest of Bees on the back line. Managing to get another good shot in. Nest of Bees still firing off, but we can see just the numbers here from Beastie, unfortunately. He's just getting cleaned up, and that's villagers in there as well. And it's not looking good for Beastie at all at this point. I think he probably realizes that this game might be done, but you never know with Beastie. That's the thing. You never know with Beastie because he does like to hold on. And we do see Wham going to be looking to draw attention to this Barbican, try and take it down. Where's that trebuchet? There should be a trebuchet on the way. In fact, there's 2 on the way. No sign of an imp, despite the 1,700 gold a minute. Geez, 1,700 gold a minute. What do you got 1,700 gold a minute from? That'll probably explain it. 23 vils on gold, rather. Still no specialized pick, though. And now Crossbow's transitioning through. Warrior Monk. Remember, Warrior Monk has been updated. One of the new technologies available. Not available in the monastery. Only available in the Abbey of Kings. It's a couple of techs that increase health. And another one that increases the duration and damage of Saint's Blessing. What was getting damaged up here? There's something up here that's getting damaged. And Beastie looks to lose the first of the landmarks. Nest of Bees getting off some decent shots. Nice little sneaky counter side attack. Comes in with the flank. Now looking to take the 3rd sacred site and trigger that sacred victory. But look at the knights just charging in. And once he gets into the economy, that's surely good game. Beastie going to try and hold on for dear life. If the Barbican falls, then Beastie falls. And unfortunately, those Springalds coming around the side. It was a very cute attempt by him, but unfortunately, the Trebs on the back are just way too strong. How is he holding? How is the Madman doing it? And now Sacred Victory is approaching. All 3 sacred sites are taken. Expect to see a keep thrown down here shortly, just to defend it. In fact, he's not even gathering any stone at the moment. Don't expect to see a keep. And look at the crossbow timing here. Just as the palace guards were getting mixed in, the crossbows came out. Wonderful read there from Wham. Towards the north of the map, a little bit of a raid cleaned up. But I think it's more irrelevant in the scheme of things. So from here, Wham is just in such a comfortable position. He's up 1,200 score. I think the main thing is that just denying this early food has given Wham so much time. And that time, he's bought villages, he's bought military with it, and he's just had a great game as a result. So I think there's a lot to be said, not necessarily about the new Kremlin, because it didn't really do much this game, but just about wooden fortresses in general. They're a really strong unit, because remember, when the outpost was nerfed, when the outpost lost its health, it went from 1,000 health down to 750, the wooden fortress got to keep its 2,000 health. So it technically has 2.5 times more health. Actually, 2.5 times? More than 2.5 times, right? Yeah, more than 2.5. 2.5. Yeah, more than 2.5. More than 2.5 times the amount of health that a normal outpost has got. And that's kind of wild. It makes it so much more difficult to challenge. It's so much more forgiving when you're looking to try and take out an enemy. Now production's being camped. Obviously, villagers getting killed as well. Beastie up to 100 workers killed this game. It's, well, I should say up to 100 workers dead this game. It's Wham with the 100 worker kills. And now more knights flooding in. And Beastie trying for dear life to hold on. You guys know what kind of guy he is. Go on, Beastie. Let me hand you that town, mate. Throw it in. I think until Wham, like, actually puts the nail in the coffin, Beastie's like the hard AI, dude. The hardest AI. He's like, until my last landmark is dead, I will fight. But fortunately, the hardest AI doesn't put landmarks in the corner of the map. I don't think Beastie's that kind of guy. But he is going ham. He's trying his best to defend. I just don't think he realizes... I mean, at this point, yeah, 69 villagers. It's a nice number, but it's not the position you want to be. That was a good one. Anyway, fellas, I hope you guys enjoyed this casted game. Make sure you go check out Wham. Go check out Beastie. I'll leave links in the description to where you can catch them. And, yeah, I mean, a nice Rus victory there. Just a very solid aggression coming out from Wham.